Everybody comment done, say comment done when you get in here, because we really gonna talk about a few things. We're gonna be essential, we're gonna be intentional. There's gonna be some real dope knowledge that you can use. So one of the things I want us to understand about investing is this, and I'm gonna be real with y'all. They got a lot of things going on right now, right? So one of the things I don't want us to get caught up with is riding waves and jumping on trends, right? That's a no-no for us. There is no way. Listen, when it comes to building wealth, it has to be intentional for us, right? Building wealth has to be intentional. My guy Mark in here, he know it too. You got to be intentional. You got to be strategic. You can't be around here running like a chicken with your head cut off, right? Because the one thing the market doesn't care, it doesn't care about you losing money. The market don't care about you losing money. The market don't care if your rent money don't come through. The market don't care if you use your child's scholarship money. The market don't care about none of that, right? So the only way that you essentially can tap into what's going on in this market is you got to educate yourself and you got to be intentional. So one of the things that I focus on daily is fundamentals, yo. Fundamentals are so important to being a great investor. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care what it is you're doing. Fundamentals has to be important. Now, one of the things I'm going to talk to y'all about too is, look, somebody said I lost 20K moving greedy. Join the club. It don't happen to me. It don't happen to the best of us. That's why I can tell people so much that don't move off emotion. Don't try to be greedy. Don't try to chase it. Because I'm going to tell you something. What happens with being in the market is this. There's always a deal. Every day there's always a deal going on. Right? So I want us to understand this. Every day in the market, there's a deal going on. If where you're looking isn't a deal right now, that doesn't mean it won't be a deal tomorrow. I want us to think about this, right? Check this out. How many times have you went to the grocery store and you be like, damn, I wanted to get this, and they be like, nah, that deal has expired, or that deal is no longer valid, or that deal isn't going on right now. You be like, all right, cool. You go shopping. You still go shopping. You continue to shop. But then when you come back 3 weeks later, it's a deal again. Oh, I ain't catch the deal this time, but I caught it this time. There's always a deal. The market isn't going anywhere, yo. Trust me. I know you look on Instagram and you see people looking like they running their bag up. You know what I'm saying? You see people running their bag up. You see somebody say, oh, I made $1,000 a day. Oh, I made $1,500 a day. Oh, I made $17,000 a day. Oh, I made $10,000 a day. In your mind, that's going to emotionally make you feel like I'm missing out on something. You're not. You're not missing out on nothing. Because essentially what you're trying to do is now you're trying to gamble. And I'm going to be real. Anytime you gambling, the house always has, the favor is always for the house. The favor, the win is always in the house's favor when you gambling. Anytime you gambling, the favor is always for the house. How you beat the house is you do the proper research and you wait. One of the great things that Warren Buffett said, the difference between the stock market and the only difference between the stock market and baseball is with the stock market, I can stand at the plate and wait for a pitch that's the one I want. That's the only difference. With baseball, you gotta stand up. You know, if you don't, you gotta swing. It's gonna be a ball or a strike. You got a limited amount of time. That time is limited. All right, so that's why you see when batters get in a certain predicament, they start swinging at everything. You feel me? They start swinging at everything. But the difference between the stock market is this. The difference between the stock market is this. You can literally stand there all day and just wait for the pitch you want. You can wait for the pitch you want. So the number one, the golden rule of all great investors is patience. It's patience. It's patience. I want us to lock that in. They not calling no strikes on you. You can just sit at the plate all day and just be like, yo, that ain't the one I want. I'm good. Nah, that ain't the one I want. I'm good. That ain't the one I want. Patience. And I can guarantee you this. The market rewards you for being patient. The market will reward you for being patient, family. It's going to reward you. The patient investor, the patient trader, the market will reward you for being patient. And it will punish you for being impatient. I promise you. Andrew Hatchett was good, Ken. I promise you that. So I want us to take a step back, and I want us to understand this too, like, right? And I know we hear people say this all the time, but we're not really identifying with it, right? We're not really identifying with it the way that we should. There has never been a greater time than now to build wealth and become a millionaire. Let me sit right so I can start. Let me say that again. There has never been a greater time than now to build wealth and become a millionaire. It is estimated that 10 million people will become millionaires this year. And every year after, it will double. Let me say that again. It is estimated that 10 million people will become millionaires this year. And every year after that, it will double. So if you around here crying that you broke, remember, it ain't nobody else's fault but yours. Because this is the thing. I don't get 25 hours in a day. I don't get 27 hours in a day. I don't get 29 hours in a day. I get 24 hours in a day. Everybody on here get 24 hours in a day. So if we all get the same amount of time, the only thing that separates is two things that's going to separate everyone. Hear me and hear me well. There's two things that's going to separate everyone. Knowledge and execution. That's the two things that's going to separate everybody. Knowledge and execution. The thing about that is this. The people before us and the generations before us, if they wanted to have an excuse, they could have. And the excuse that they had that we can't use is exposure to the knowledge. Let me say that again. The generations before us can legitimately say they had an excuse because everyone wasn't able to be exposed to the knowledge. And it's cool. That's real talk. That's real talk. Some people, certain things happen, but the generations prior to us didn't have exposure to the knowledge. So, different things happen. Everyone on here in this generation now has the exposure to the knowledge. Everyone. So now what happens is, one, the knowledge, and two, the execution. See, some people cool with just being knowledge freaks. I know people who I'm cool with, they information freaks. They can get all the information, but they won't execute. Me, I'm the other way around. I want the information, but I'm all about executing. I'm all about executing. I need to turn the information into results, whether it's good or bad. Because once I transform the information into results, if it's good, I can further that. If it's bad, I learn from it. But the execution is the key. Y'all with me right now? We trapping, man. Do me a favor, man. Send this out to 10 people because this is going to get good tonight. I promise you. I promise you. So this is it. Now is the greatest time. See, this happens. You only get, like, every generation always gets this one opportunity, right? Where something happens, right? And you just like, yo, it's about to go crazy. This is the time. I just put up a post that said in July, the billionaires of the world added 25 billion to their wealth in July. It said that certain billionaire families are getting $1 billion every 2 weeks. $1 billion every 2 weeks. This hasn't happened no time in history, family. $1 billion every 2 weeks. And they got you out here fighting for $600-700 a week. There's a gap here. Something is missing here. Right? So we gotta tap in. 80% of millionaires that are happening now, that are coming about now, 80% of them, listen to this stat, 80% of millionaires, 80% of the millionaires who are becoming millionaires now are first generation millionaires. 80% of the new millionaires, 80% of millionaires are people who are acquiring millions right now. 80% of them are first generation millionaires. So that means no inheritance, no trust fund, no none of that. That means they found the blueprint, they stuck to it, they got the knowledge, they executed. We trapping right now. I need us to understand this. 80% of millionaires now are first generation millionaires, meaning no inheritance, no trust fund, no none of that. No, none of that. So that means they got the knowledge, they got the blueprint, they stuck to it. Fearless, intentional. They turned their last name into an asset. My key term. We have to turn our last names into an asset. The way that we do that is how? We intake the knowledge, we become more intentional and useful with the 24 hours we have. Now, one of the things we can do is we can get on this social media, and one of the things I always say is when we get on this social media, what we got to learn how to do is we got to learn how to filter our social media. See, we've been getting entertained for a long time, so now it's time for us to get educated. I dare everybody on here to either start a new Instagram tomorrow or go through your Instagram between the day and tomorrow and unfollow people who just make you laugh. Unfollow people who don't bring value to your life. And then start that, whether it's YouTube or Instagram, I want you to start following people who add value to your life, who add a piece to your well-building puzzle. Because see, you got to start being around people and you got to start associating yourself with people who help build and value to you. You got to start texting people, only people who bring in value to you. Because see, you've been rocking with the same people and all y'all doing is going out, having fun, laughing and joking. You done did that for so long. The reason why your situation not gonna change is because the people in your situation, in your cipher, all have the same issues. So no one is a solutionist. See, what I want us to understand, listen, we gonna talk stock talk, but we gotta tap in. See, what happens is people like to do this, yo. This is what people like to do. People like to complain about the problem to other people who are having the same problem. So you like preaching to the choir. Nobody can call my phone complaining. I'm gonna be real. You gotta call my phone, and if you talking to me or something, if you got an issue, you gotta be willing to say, let me have my moment, but then we gonna get to it. Cause you gotta fix it. I'm a solutionist. I'm empathetic to a lot, but I'm not sympathetic. Because the world ain't sympathetic. You gonna have your moment and then you gotta get back to it. You feel me? So one of the things we got to do is we got to start understanding the power of our dollar. Now, I know I got people on here from every race, but I want my people to understand this. The black dollar is the catalyst to every other ethnic group's wealth. I'm going to say that. I'm going to put it out there. You take it, you do what you want to do with it. I'm telling you that the black dollar is the catalyst, meaning it's the core, it's the foundation to every other ethnic group's wealth. I'm just being real with y'all. I ain't trying to hurt nobody's feelings. I ain't trying to step on nobody's toes, but sometimes the truth just make people uncomfortable. So what we got to start doing is understanding the power in the dollar. We got to go from being human capital to being humans who create capital. Oh, Lord, where that came from? Let me bite this chip, man. There we go. Oh, yeah. That was a bar. I ad-libbed that one. Feel me? I want us to like take that back in again. Right? We got to take that back in. Again, we're not trying to make nobody uncomfortable, but the truth does that. The black dollar is the most important dollar when it comes to building wealth. It's the catalyst to building every other ethnic group's wealth. So we got to transform ourselves from being human capital to being humans who create capital. God, I said it again. I just shocked myself. That came out of nowhere. You know, sometimes you be talking, you usually get hit with that thought. You feel me? So what happens is we got to start being able to take the capital, right? We got to start being able to take the capital, plant the capital, nourish the capital, and then watch the capital blossom. Watch the capital blossom into wealth. Right? Instead of what I'm saying is what we tend to do is we tend to get the capital. We tend to get the capital. And when we get the capital, the first thing we do This is what happens. This is the mindset. Because we play life from defense. We play defense instead of offense. And that's a major problem. That's a major issue. We got to go from defense to go playing offense. We got to start playing offense. We got to start attacking life instead of just sitting back letting it come to us. Because when we sit back and let it come to us, what happens is we often always on defense. You always working to pay bills. You always working to get out of debt. When something happens, you got to go work to get money to take care of that. Right? So when you start playing offense in life, you start attacking life. You start saying, I'm going to take my money and put my money here so my money can work for me so I can do this. So my money can work for me so I can do that. You can't change the life you want, if you don't change the narrative that you live in. You can't change the life and go into the life you want if you don't change the narrative of the life you live in. It can't happen. It's almost oxymoronic. And I don't mean to say that like that, but this is what I'm saying. You feel me? I want us to understand this. We got to start playing offense. So we play offense by doing certain things. So how do you play offense? You learn the plays in the playbook. You learn some of the plays. You can't play offense if you don't know no plays. And one of the greatest plays and one of the greatest things we can do with our money is investing it in the stock market. It's why I love it so much. I love it so much because there's always opportunity for us. It's always opportunity for us. So now I'm going to talk about a few things inside of the stock market that we can use from a fundamental approach. Right? We're going to use this from a fundamental approach. Now, first, I want us to understand a lot of people on here, people may be new, people may be, just tapping in. So there's fundamental analysis and then there's technical analysis. Trapper, me, myself, I deal with the fundamentals. Right? I let fundamentals tell me everything I need to know about a business. See, the fundamentals tell me a lot about the company. It tells me the company's ability to earn money. Right? It tells me the company's how can the business grow. It tells me the value of the business. It tells me how is management controlling and dictating the business. It's telling me all of that. Now, fundamentals give me what technical analysis can't. Value. See, with technical analysis, what you're doing is you're looking at charts, and when you look at the charts are now essentially saying, this is what's going on with this stock. This is how this stock has moved over a certain time period. There's nothing wrong with technicals, but it's more so for traders. I need to find a value over something. I like to say I want to appraise this business. How can this business grow earnings over time? This has to be important. See, I don't want us to look at stocks as just little pieces of paper or little ticker symbols. We have to look at them as living, breathing businesses that we are now owners of. That we are owners of. Right? We business investors. That's who you are. You are investing in a living, breathing business. So we need to know, in order for a business to continue to be profitable, it has to do what? Grow. You grow earnings. Remember this. Money is the oxygen to any business. We need to know this. We need to understand this. So now I want us to say this. I want us to understand this.